Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. And today in this episode I will be talking about the short definition of global warming and some of the most realistic explanation for this term. Hopefully after this video you can understand a little bit about global warming, what it causes and how its effect on our mental and physical health. Global warming. The Earth is warming up, and humans are at least partially to blame. The causes, effects, and complexities of global warming are important to understand so that we can fight for the health of our planet. Global warming is the long-term warming of the planet's overall temperature. Though this warming trend has been going on for a long time, its pace has significantly increased in the last 100 years due to the burning of fossil fuels. As the human population has increased, so has the volume of fossil fuels burned. Fossil fuels include coal, oil, and natural gas, and burning them causes what is known as the greenhouse effect in Earth's atmosphere. The greenhouse effect is when the sun's rays penetrate the atmosphere, but when that heat is reflected off the surface, cannot escape back into space. Gases produced by the burning of fossil fuels prevent the heat from leaving the atmosphere. These greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, oh my god, this word is so hard to pronounce. I think I will look it up. So just go to search web and pronunciations. Let's see.
Chlorofluorocarbons.
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 Okay, I know it. Chlorofluorocarbons, water vapor, methane, and nitrous oxide. The excess heat in the atmosphere has caused the average global temperature to rise over time, otherwise known as global warming. Global warming has presented another issue called climate change. Sometimes these phrases are used interchangeably. However, they're different. Climate change refers to changes in weather patterns and growing seasons around the world. It also refers to sea level rise caused by the expansion of warmer seas and melting ice sheets and glaciers. Global warming causes climate change, which poses a serious threat to life on Earth in the forms of widespread flooding and extreme weather. Scientists continue to study global warming and its impact on Earth. So that's something about global warming you have to bear in mind. And now let's also refer to climate change, by the way. Alright, so we have like a lot of articles about climate change. So I probably will skip it because there's so many things to read. Let's see. We have greenhouse effect. Wow, that's kind of interesting here. We have a very long article, but I will try my best to read it in just a video. Greenhouse effect. Global warming describes the current rise in the average temperatures of Earth, air, and oceans. Global warming is often described as the more recent example of climate change. So here are some photos to demonstrate how serious the greenhouse effect to our life. For example, such as this first autograph is the thin ice sheets in Antarctica that lead to a very threat to what is it? It is polar bears. So polar bears have become a symbol of global warming because the Arctic landscape is one of the first to absorb the impact of rising temperatures. Warming temperatures melt polar ice and force animals like the polar bear to move farther south in search of food and other resources. So yeah, that's really poor. And if you want to learn more about how greenhouse effect of global warming or climate change affects your life, just go to National Geographic and then search for the keywords polar bear. It would appear tons and tons of articles in terms of how climate change affect the quality of life towards the polar bears. So this photograph is taken in the Bayou State, which is demonstrate the flooding effect. Sea level rise is an impact of global warming. Rising temperatures cause ice to melt at the poles. As this polar ice melts, sea levels rise, causing floods in the coastal areas. A storm surge on the Lucina Highway above shows the effect of sea levels rise. This autograph is the coral bleaching. The coral reef off the coast of Negro, Jamaica, has been partially bleached, an impact of global warming. Rising ocean temperatures, in addition to increased runoff from agriculture and industry, contribute to coral communities dying and their reef being bleached of its bright color. So yeah, that's some of the pictures to show you guys how serious it is. And last on the list is the smokestacks. The smokestacks of a huge lumber mill in Longview, Washington, provide a backdrop to towering stacks of lumber. Emissions from factories are a human contribution to global warming. Since 1960, when this photo was taken, governments have forced factories to limit the harmful pollutants they emit. So it was taken like 52 years ago. Right, so that's it. Now let's read their encyclopedic entry of greenhouse effect. Oh, by the way, I have to turn off the air conditioner because I'm so freezing right now. Alright. Global warming describes the current rise in the average temperatures of Earth's air and oceans. Global warming is often described as the most recent example of climate change. Earth's climate has changed many times. Our planet has gone through multiple ice ages, in which ice sheets and glaciers cover large portions of the Earth. It has also gone through warm periods when temperatures were higher than they are today. Past changes in Earth's temperature happened very slowly, over hundreds of thousands of years. However, the recent warming trend is happening much faster than it ever has. Natural cycles of warming and cooling are not enough to explain the amount of warming we have experienced in such a short time. Only human activities can account for it. Scientists worry that the climate is changing faster than some living things can adapt to it. While speaking about this problem, I also have a phenomenon that causing the Earth's temperature to rise like 66 million years ago. Have you ever remembered the phenomenon that caused to the dinosaurs extinction 66 million years ago? Well, because of a dino killing asteroid that collided with Earth and causing like a lot of natural disasters such as tsunamis, earthquakes, or floodings, and also causing some volcanic eruptions, so it makes the temperature to rise really high, much higher than we are now. Anyway, so that doesn't matter because even though that the temperature in the past used to be much higher than it is today, but it still like changed dramatically over time than in the past. So yeah, it does make any difference. In 1988, the World Meteorological Organization and the United Nations Environment Program established a committee of climatologists, meteorologists, and geographers, and other scientists from around the world. This Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, why is it so dark? Or IPCC, includes thousands of scientists who review the most up-to-date research available related to global warming and climate change. The IPCC evaluates the risk of climate change caused by human activities. According to the IPCC most recent report, in 2007, Earth's average surface temperatures have risen about 0.74 degrees Celsius or 1.333 degrees Fahrenheit during the past 100 years. The increase is greater in northern latitudes. Here's a new word for me. So, latitude means distance north of south of the equator, measured in degrees. The IPCC has found that land regions are warming faster than oceans. The IPCC states that most of the temperature increase since the mid-20th century is likely due to human activities since the Industrial Revolution in 1880. I think so. The greenhouse effect. Human activities contribute to global warming by increasing the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect happens when certain gases, known as greenhouse gases, collect in Earth's atmosphere. These gases, which occur naturally in the atmosphere, include carbon dioxide, methane, nitrogen oxide, and fluorinated gases, sometimes known as chlorofluorocarbons or CFCs. Here's a new word for me. So, fluorinate means to add or combine with the element fluorine, or it stands for the F. Greenhouse gases let the sun's light shine onto the Earth's surface, but they trap the heat they reflect back up into the atmosphere. In this way, they act like the insulating glass walls of greenhouse. The greenhouse effect keeps Earth's climate comfortable. Without it, surface temperatures would be cooler by about 33 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and many life forms would freeze. Since the Industrial Revolution in the late 1700s and early 1800s, people have been releasing large quantities of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, mostly due to the factories or plants. That amount has skyrocketed in the past century. Here's a very common word that mostly appeared in the academic test reading, such as reading. It is skyrocket, mean to increase rapidly. Greenhouse gas emissions increased 70% between 1970 and 2004. Emissions of carbon dioxide, the most important greenhouse gas, rose by about 80% during that time. The amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere today far exceeds the natural range seen over the last 650,000 years. Most of the carbon dioxide that people put into the atmosphere comes from burning fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas. Cars, trucks, trains, and planes all burn fossil fuels. Many electric power plants also burn the fossil fuels. Another way people release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere is by cutting down forests. This happens for two reasons. Decaying plant material, including trees, releases tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Living trees absorb carbon dioxide. By diminishing the number of trees to absorb carbon dioxide, the gas remains in the atmosphere. Most methane in the atmosphere comes from livestock farming, landfills, and fossil fuel production, such as coal mining and natural gas processing. Nitrous oxide comes from agricultural technology, and fossil fuels burning. Fluorinated gases include their CFCs. That's right, CFCs, and their oh my god, it's so hard to read. This is the hydrochlorofluorocarbons and the hydrofluorocarbons. These greenhouse gases are used in aerosol cans and refrigeration. So aerosol can, by the way, mean container of liquid material under high pressure. When released through a small opening, the liquid becomes a spray of form. All of these human activities add greenhouse gases to the atmosphere, trapping more heat than usual and contributing to global warming. So I think that the next video I will be reading the rest of the article because I think that is already very long. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.